Hi, I'm JJ Jasper with American Family Radio. We have almost 200 radio stations in 36 states. But what a treat to be here on Corn-Fed Life with Craig and Corrine. Thank you for watching this channel. God bless you.
Save me a piece of that corn. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Little Podcast on the Prairie. And if you want to see how far out on the prairie we are, take a look at the little short video I just uploaded recently, and you will see that we are way out on the prairie.
It's a little short video. It's just this tall.
Yeah, it's just that tall. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about storm chasing.
Yeah.
Chase those storms. Chase them down and tackle them. But before we get started, we want to thank our two friends, Mike
and Terry,
for
they make up
MT Homestead. They gave us these lovely t-shirts. They invited us to be on their little podcast or their live chat or whatever you call it the other day, and then they sent us these lovely t-shirts with their logo, and they sent us some cool stickers as well.
Yeah, we love stickers too.
Yeah.
So we're really happy.
Yeah, we're going to start some sort of sticker board. So I know other homesteading channels and stuff have little sticker boards and different things.
We got stickers to contribute as well.
Yeah, and we're going to find something cool to stick those stickers on. I guarantee you that.
Hey, so, I just want to know, how come Craig's t-shirt will dry in the dryer, but mine will not? It's still a little bit damp.
Yeah.
What's the deal?
Yeah, what are you making these things out of? Anyway, yeah, we want to say that we really appreciate Mike and Terry. They do so much for the small YouTube and the homesteader YouTube community, but not just homesteaders. They support all types of channels like ours, and we really appreciate their support. It's hard to get going as a YouTuber, as a lot of you probably know. When you're first starting out, it takes a while to build up. For those that aren't YouTubers, what you may not know is you do not get paid to be a YouTuber until you get 1,000 subscribers and a whole bunch of watch hours. So that's always the challenge when you're starting a new channel.
But you can get paid in t-shirts.
Yeah.
And that's all that we need.
So
we're good.
Yeah, but so we appreciate the support. It's really, one thing that's interesting to me is how, so we of course, when you start a channel, you tell all your family and all your friends. And you'll get a couple family members watching your stuff, like our parents.
Most of our family just doesn't care what we're doing.
Yeah, and like so many of our friends, I don't know if they watch or not, but I never hear from any of them, so you just think, But anyway, it's just intriguing to me that like your circle of people don't watch your stuff, or at least if they do, they don't tell you they do, or they don't comment.
They're busy doing meaningful things with their lives, like raising children. We never had kids, but so this is what happened to us.
It's interesting to me that people that you don't know will rally around you, and you'll make new friends, and they'll really be supportive of what you're doing, and it's really inspiring. It makes you think like, yeah, let's do this thing.
Speaking of which, that's what made storm chasing so much fun for us, was the people rallying around us. But before we get into our story...
There's more?
I just wanted to start with, is storm chasing really dangerous? And inherently it is, because you're driving, and driving is very dangerous. But statistically, it's not. It's average less than one person a year dies by storm chasing. Although, just yesterday, unfortunately, there was 3 kids, college kids, that were coming home from a storm chase that passed away in a car wreck. They were coming home, but the roads were still wet, and they hydroplaned, and that got them into the pathway of a semi. And so it was a very tragic thing that happened to these 3 meteorology students from the University of Oklahoma.
May they rest in peace, and God be with their families. So we're sorry to have to report that, but the good news is, overall You rarely hear of people dying from chasing storms.
Right.
And so that's the good thing. Like she said, the more dangerous thing is just driving. Before we moved to the Midwest, when we were kind of thinking about it, I said, well, do we want to live in a place where there's lots of tornadoes? And Corrine pointed out something to me that like totally changed my mind. She said,
"What did I do? I don't remember."
You just said, I think there's a lot more ways to. You said, I think you said something to the effect that I think more people probably die in car accidents. And so then I looked up the statistics, and I should have written them down so I'd had them ready for the show. But the point is, it's like, I think you're like 100 times more likely to die or so. It's dramatic. I mean, there's like, I think it's like 50,000. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but I think there's like 50,000 car deaths per year. And the average tornado deaths is well under 100, isn't it?
Yeah, and everybody knows somebody that has died in a vehicle accident.
Yeah.
But I don't know if everybody knows somebody that's died in a tornado. It's very unusual.
Yeah, I think the statistic I found was like 80. I think it was like 80 people a year die in a tornado. And if you think about all of the areas that have tornadoes, I mean, it's pretty much like east of the Rockies, I think, is like where all the deaths happen. I mean, there's a lot of people in all these areas. Yeah. And so it's basically inconsequential. You are a lot more likely to die in a car wreck anywhere in the U.S.
That's my go-to argument, because if somebody's afraid of flying in a commercial aircraft, not necessarily small aircraft, that's a different story, but a commercial aircraft, then you tell them, hey, you're more likely to die on the way to the airport in a car.
Right, yeah, and nobody's worried about that. You don't get in your car thinking like, oh no, I hope I make it to where I'm going. Like, everybody just looks, everybody looks at car transportation like it's just no big deal. But really, that's like a super highly likely way that you'll die. Right. So, crazy. So, yeah, so let's get into our little adventure. So, you want to set up what was happening?
Okay, well, we went and played basketball because that's one of the few things that we can do around here. We can't really play soccer like my husband would like to, although he does want to get it started around these parts. But so we were playing basketball and we were drenched, we were disgusting, and we really wanted to come home and take a shower and just hop into bed because we were very tired. We played against these young people that, had no business playing against us. They hurt us.
And I have a complaint about the Midwest is everybody grows stinking tall out here.
Yeah.
So when I would go pick up basketball in Oregon, I was always like in the middle of the pack. I wasn't usually the shortest guy. Definitely wasn't the tallest guy. I come in at 5'10", and I was usually kind of right in the middle. But every time I go play basketball here in the Midwest, I am by far the short guy. Everybody's taller than me.
They were even making fun of me. And I was just playing just to be nice to these boys because I came wearing some jeans. I was just going to watch my husband play. But they were even making fun of me because I was jumping up trying to block their shots. And they're like, oh, little kid. They were making fun of me.
Yeah. And last night there was only 2 other guys. So we were playing 2-on-2 all night. And Corrine really wanted to play. I told her, well, we're going to have to... She always likes to be on my team because she likes me or something. But I told her... I told her, tonight we're going to have to split up because it is not going to be fun for these 2 guys to play against the 2 of us. And so we split up, and it was a bit of fun because they could kind of guard and challenge each other, and then we could guard and challenge each other. By the way, she plays really dirty. So...
I have to.
When you play against her, you get elbows to the ribs, elbows to the face, elbows to wherever. I always end up with lots of bruises. But then for the last game, she was like, oh, I really want to do one game. So the
With
two.
Craig, I really want to do one game playing on Craig's team.
So the guys said, okay, all right, let's do it, and then it was pretty sad, but they were really
nice.
They were really nice. So it was
I thought, like if we wore them down, if they were tired enough, then we would have a chance. But no, they still had plenty of energy.
Yeah, because in between the other games, they played a little one-on-one with each other, so she thought that would wear them down.
Yeah, we're used to these kids that drink soda all the time and are just like playing video games for their main sport. We're used to those type of kids, so we thought we could wear them down.
We got to give a shout out to the two guys and thank them for playing against us and being really good sports. It was Kevin and Trey. So thank you guys if you're watching for playing against us, and they were really nice. They let us take some shots and do some stuff. They could have just wiped the floor with us.
Yeah, well, we knew what they were doing.
Okay.
But anyway, we still had a little bit of pride.
Let's get back to the scenario. So here we are coming home, like she said, all exhausted, and as we're heading out to our home on the prairie, what did we see in the sky?
We saw a wonderful light display of lightning like we hadn't seen before. I mean, it was just going like crazy. It was lighting up the sky like every other second. You didn't have to wait for it. And it was right over the lake. So I said to Craig, we gotta go look at it at the lake. And he said, no, I gotta change first. So we came home.
Well, I was a little suspicious that this was going to turn into a longer night.
I really just wanted to go to the lake.
I never dreamed it was going to be as long as it turned out to be. But I thought this might go for a while. I want to get out of these nasty, sweaty clothes and get a fresh set of clothes on and maybe something to drink and a little snack, just in case. And thank God I did, because once we started heading out, the storm had moved a little bit. So originally we were going to go like just out to the lake and watch it over the lake. But by the time we got there, it was, quite a few miles away from the lake. So we were like, should we go chase it? Yeah, let's go get closer. So we just started driving.
Well, how did we know where the storm was headed? Because I was busy driving and you were busy doing a live stream of this.
Yeah.
So how did we know?
Yeah, so that was the other thing. We were like, hey, we might as well live stream this so some of our YouTube buddies can follow along with us. And by this point, I think it was around 10 o'clock or so at night by the time we were heading out. It must have been...
No, because I remember on our camera outside that it was about 8:40.
8:40?
Yeah.
No, Oh, yeah, I guess the basketball ended about 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'm way off there. So...
But it was starting to get late.
Yeah, it was starting to get dark. Actually, it was pretty dark at this point. But anyway, I thought, probably everybody's turned in for the evening, but let's live stream it and just see maybe somebody will be up and want to watch. Maybe some West Coasters or who knows. So we started live streaming it on our YouTube channel, and sure enough, a couple people started popping on. And who popped on from Kansas?
Eric.
Eric from Kansas. That's his YouTube handle.
Why do we like Eric?
Because he's from Kansas.
And because he was our storm navigator. He let us know exactly the tract of the storm.
Yeah, he figured out how on Google Maps there's a way you can follow the storms basically in real time. So he started telling us, it says it's heading north or west or whatever. So we just started kind of following his directions. The good thing about Kansas is there's roads going east-west and roads going north-south. If you look at the Kansas roads, it's like a grid. It's like a checkerboard. It's just like the roads are all like this. So there's like a million ways you can get anywhere. So you can kind of take this road and that road and just kind of follow the storm. And so that's what we did. We started following it. And next thing we knew, we were... over an hour and a half away from our house and still going.
We never would have. It's all you people's faults. You people. Because
what do you mean, you people?
We would have just gone to the lake maybe and said, okay, the storm is going over that way. But you guys made it so much fun to chase the storm that we didn't stop. We didn't stop until hours and hours later.
Yeah. we really wanted to try to get into the middle of it because it was really for us West Coasters. So for those that don't know what storms are like on the West Coast, and for those on the West Coast that don't know what it's like out here, it is a totally different world on the West Coast. Typically, if you're having a storm with like some lightning and stuff, you'll have like 1 or 2 strikes. It'll be like, and then like
nothing,
and then nothing for usually like 30 seconds, maybe a minute, maybe a couple minutes. So you'll have a couple strikes, and then you wait, and you're looking like, oh, I want to see some more lightning, and you'll be waiting a while. But in the West Coast, in the Midwest, it's not like that. In the Midwest, sometimes it'll just be like lightning, like bam, 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 bam. Sometimes it'll shoot all the way across the sky. When we were driving, there were points when you would see it burst out the left car window all the way around the front to the right, like literally like 180 degrees.
The entire sky.
Where it was just like lightning. And what you see also on the West Coast, almost always, in fact, I don't ever remember seeing otherwise. In the West Coast, the lightning comes down. You always see it come down and hit the ground. But out here, you'll see the lightning go across the sky like that.
Yeah, it'll even loop up sometimes.
Yeah,
but
they don't always hit the ground.
To add something about storm watching where we're from. Where we're from in Oregon, the big thing for the big storms is to head to the coast and see the waves crash up. But, that's great. It's a lot of fun. It still does not compare to a lightning show in the Midwest.
Yeah.
It's just
it's incredible. And then the other interesting thing out here is in Oregon, if you're watching lightning, there's almost always rain going on. But here, it can go either way. You can have lightning with lots of rain, pouring rain and hails. Like, if you watched our live, you saw that we went through some serious hail. But you can also have a big lightning storm where it's absolutely dry. There's no condensation coming down. It's just the lightning. And that's something like that's really unusual on the West Coast. I think I may have seen those out there like on rare occasion, but it's pretty much always condensation involved. But out here, sometimes it's just a light show. So that's kind of, when we started out, we didn't know. It was actually still really dry around here. We didn't hit the hail until we were in the center of the storm, basically. But so we ended up chasing this thing. At one point, we kind of caught it, and actually, we didn't catch it heading north or west, which is where it was going.
We almost did, though, because we saw we were on the right track because there was piles and piles of hailstones everywhere.
Yeah, it looked like snow. I've never seen anything like that.
I was even plowing through it. It was like this in some places.
Yeah, the hail had piled up. I've never seen in my life hail pile up like snow. Usually I've just seen a little layer on the ground. But yeah, it was some really thick, several inches worth of hail in certain... And it was just a little distance that we saw it in. And then it was it had dumped a bunch of hail and then moved on.
And I was getting passed by people who were out late at night in these dire driving conditions. You Midwesterners, you are crazy drivers. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. So where we live out on the prairie, we live on dirt roads, and even the school bus dropping kids off, the school bus is going through here at 60, 65 miles an hour on dirt. Right. That just blows my mind.
Those are the two ones that go really fast past our house and just blow us over with dust. Is the school bus and the UPS driver.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else kind of slows down, but those are the two ones.
Yeah.
They'll get us.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy how people drive out here, but I don't see a lot of wrecks, so apparently they know what they're doing.
I thought it was really funny while we were doing the live stream. Somebody told me to put my brights on, so they were helping me with my driving skills as well.
Yeah, so we had backseat drivers from YouTube, which was awesome. So we were just so I was holding the camera up, and the way it works on a YouTube live stream for non-YouTube folks is people type in messages to the live chat, and they pop up on your screen, so you can kind of. You're still seeing what you're shooting, but you see little messages. So it's kind of fun. You can have a little conversation with the people that are typing in.
It just made the time just fly by, because Craig said at one point when it was buffering and nobody could hear him, he said, "Do you realize we're 3 hours into doing this. It doesn't even seem like that at all. It seems like maybe 20 minutes.
Right. Yeah, you're having fun chasing the storm, and the time is just flying by.
And everybody's joining in. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, so we got pretty far north. We filled up with gas so we could keep going.
We went all the way up to Nebraska.
Yeah, and we actually went a couple hours in Nebraska too.
Yeah.
We went as far. What was the town called?
It was Lexington.
Lexington. So we went all the way to Lexington, Nebraska. We were up cruising down the 80 freeway, and
we couldn't find an open gas station so that we could take a break.
Yeah, and we needed snacks. We were hungry.
So this guy that Craig met said, well, follow me. I'll take you to where they're open. And so he took us to this truck stop. So he gave him a cornfed sticker.
Yeah. And it was a nice guy. He took us to where there was, and that was actually a nice truck stop. It had some yummy snacks. I was able to grab a little Philly cheesesteak from the fridge and heat it up.
That was,
and it was
actually
pretty decent.
Yeah, you never get that.
Yeah, you rarely get packaged food that has good taste to it.
I ate a hot dog and it didn't make me sick, even though it was the last hot dog of the day. It's probably been cooking there for like 8 hours.
Anyway, at this point too, the storm had headed south. So, but we kind of thought, well, we're probably not going to catch it. Let's just head home. So we were driving home, and we kind of said goodbye to all the the people in the chat. And then, lo and behold, where did we find ourselves?
In the eye of the tiger.
In the eye of the storm, he remains in control. That's a good song.
Yep.
King and Country, I think.
They have good.
Yeah, but so all of a sudden we were in the middle of the storm. Like, we just came up on it, and the light. It was that was probably the best show of the night. All the time chasing it north, we kind of were catching the edge of it, but this was right in the middle.
Every once in a while you'd see a full bolt, but it was mostly horizontal and little glimpses of lightning. But coming south directly towards it, it was all these full bolts of lightning. There was a bolt of lightning. I couldn't believe it. No joke. It was like a swirl all the way down to the ground. I've never seen anything like this.
It was a lightning nado.
Yeah, it was.
And anyway, so I was just kind of finishing up, and I was as we were kind of approaching it before we hit the center of it, I was kind of oh, maybe we should do another live stream. It's starting to get pretty interesting. And then we kind of really hit it, and she's like, finish your food and get the camera out.
Yeah,
so I was
so incredible.
So I shoved the rest of my food down. And then she yelled at me for talking with my mouth full of food. Then
I didn't yell at you. I very discreetly said, swallow your food.
Yeah, so anyway, we got the camera, we got the live back up, and some of the people that were following us earlier popped back on, and we even had some new people join us, which was awesome. And that's when the best show was. We did 3 separate live streams that night, but I think the best one to watch is the second one. It was the most exciting, but yeah, it was unbelievable.
There's a lot of graveyard people out there that like to watch storm chasing.
My old buddy Nate from high school jumped on, and I hardly talked to that guy in years, and all of a sudden there he was, and he was a part of our storm chasing. That was really cool. And Eric from Kansas, I think, got back in. Oh, a Devil Dog. Devil Dog was on with us, I think, most of the night too.
Who was the guy with the funny handle?
Oh, Frankie DeFixa.
Yeah.
Frankie DeFixa was on there with us, our homeboy from Arkansas. And I got to give a special shout out to Frankie DeFixa because he was one of our original subscribers on Cornfed Life. When we were just starting out, we only had a handful of videos up. He was one of the first guys that found us. Not even sure how he found us. So he's been with us from the beginning.
Who was the person that was watching from the farthest away?
And then don't forget, we got to give a special shout out to Brenda, who not only came on, but she was moderating the chat for us.
Yeah.
So thanks, Brenda. That's Redbird Farms. And then we had Jonesy Out and About from Australia. So he was on there telling us some fun stuff about Australia.
Yeah.
And our other favorite YouTubers, Lazy Days, were on.
And Gathered Together.
gathered together. We have a special place.
Was Jennifer Inker there?
I think she might have popped on. But I just want to say we have a special place in our hearts for Lazy Days because Mrs. Lazy Days, what's her name? I felt like an idiot now. Anyway, Mrs. Lazy Days, it's Jessie and
Lisa, right?
Lisa?
I think so.
Okay.
I get a couple of them confused because they remind me of each other.
Yeah.
They're both dropping the bad dad jokes and stuff like that. So.
Anyway, we're trying to learn all our new friends' names. But anyway, Mrs. Lazy Days comes from Roseburg, Oregon, our former hometown. So we have a lot of fun chatting with them and trying to figure out if we know the same people or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're always fun YouTubers to hang around with.
Anyway, it's like a great group of friends that just landed in our lap.
Yeah, we just kind of stumbled upon. Actually, to be honest with you, it was after we had a. I don't do that a whole lot, but we'd had kind of a frustrating time, and we tried one of these services where you pay a few bucks, and they're supposed to help you promote your stuff and get you subscribers. And we tried that, and basically threw some money away, and we just got a bunch of bots that then YouTube just wiped away. And I was getting kind of frustrated, and I just started praying. I was like, God, just show us how to do this. Because one thing we want to do in our YouTube channel is we always want to glorify God. That's part of the reason we're doing this. We want to have fun, explore the Midwest, but our main theme is we want people to see Christ in us.
Right. We don't want to waste our lives on trivial things.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I was just praying, and then it was shortly after that I just started stumbling across some homestead channels. And, I don't even know why or how I found them. And then I noticed that they all do like these live chats and stuff. And we just started going on and watching. And then we noticed that they would all start subscribing to us. You go on these live chats where everyone kind of shares and talks about their channels. And so next thing we know, we just started getting new subscribers every day. And that was awesome. And just really an answer to prayer. And they're all just really awesome people, some of the best people we've met. So that's just been a really cool blessing. And I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, we just wanted everyone to know that we appreciate all the little channels out there like ours. And yeah.
So we thought we were out of Storm Alley. We thought we were just going to go home and drive home and have a pleasant journey home. But that's when we hit the hail.
Oh man, that's some crazy hail.
Yeah.
Our dog was even going berserk. We forgot to mention that Higgins came along for the ride, and he was in the back when that hail started hitting. He was going crazy. We were sure our car was going to be covered in dents because it sounded like baseballs were hitting our car. They weren't. They were like like ball bearing sized hail. But we were sure we were going to end up with a bunch of dents, but car came out pretty much unscathed.
Yeah. Don't have to, because they told us that if the insurance company saw that we were out being irresponsible and storm chasing, they wouldn't cover. I'm sure they would anyway.
But anyway, so this little trip to the lake to watch the storm turned into like a 7-hour plus journey up through Nebraska and all over Kansas.
Bad when we came home. Like my knee was hurting so bad from playing basketball and then driving for like 7 hours straight.
Yeah, she did almost all the driving. I only drove for like the last little portion of it.
Yeah.
I drove for a little bit.
Tired, and then he starts yawning and moaning about being tired. So it kind of scares me that we're gonna suddenly veer off the road because he's gonna fall asleep. So I always make sure that I drive when it's a question of being exhausted.
Yeah, somehow she has like internal caffeine source or something.
Yeah,
because she can drive like through the night and just be totally alert and awake, and
Robot.
I just started losing it where I got to start slapping myself to stay awake, and
yeah,
but she never gets that way. So
well, yeah. I can go forever until I can't, so I'll just go like in a possibly long time and then die.
Yeah. So anyway, that was our first experience storm chasing, and then it was kind of funny because then the next day we were under a tornado watch here in north central Kansas, and it didn't end up materializing here. There ended up being a tornado down by Wichita, and that was a pretty good sized tornado. Thank God, last I checked, there were no reported deaths in it, which is amazing because
it was in Andover.
Yeah, Andover, which is just
Topeka.
just outside of, I think it's outside of Wichita, isn't it?
Well, I thought it was Topeka.
I don't know. Anyway, pretty big area, it damaged a lot of buildings, but no lives were lost, so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I was starting to think the next day, like, maybe we'll get to do a tornado chase, but that didn't materialize. But the good thing about that tornado is it happened during the day, and tornadoes in the day are not nearly as scary as at night. At night, you can't see anything, so you don't know where the tornado is. And I verified that the stereotype is absolutely true. We were told that Midwesterners, when they hear a tornado siren, instead of going to their basement, they all go out to the street to see where the tornado is. And I saw that exact thing happen. So I was actually in town. She was still at home out on the prairie. I was in town checking up on Mom. And as I was driving through the streets of town, like all these people were out in the streets kind of like looking, like, where's the tornado going to be? And instead of like heading for their shelters, they were all out trying to spot it. And it was, so it never happened here, but there was crazy winds. I mean, like, you'd see, like, it would tip over people's garbage, and then you would see stuff just fly past.
Flagpole in half.
Yeah, she actually caught that on. She was just recording the winds, and she caught that on. There's a little video on our channel. Check it out, of our flagpole just snapping in half.
So what we're gonna do? So we're gonna remove the lower half of the pole, throw it away, and then we're just gonna stick it into the ground again and see if it can split it over again.
My thought is it was an aluminum pole, so I think if it's not quite so tall, it's probably less likely to snap it in half.
Could work.
But anyway, yeah, that was crazy, snapping a flagpole in half. Like,
wow.
Those were some crazy winds. Oh, and it tipped over our dumpster. We have a regular sized dumpster that like you'll see outside of, a store or whatever. It tipped the dumpster over. Like, that thing must weigh a ton. I mean, so there you go. That's how windy it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy Midwest.
So yeah, the fun times in the Midwest. This whole wind thing is new for us. We're not used to it, but thank God it's not windy all the time. We do get some nice tranquil little breaks in there where it's just beautiful. It's like heaven.
Right.
Out here on the prairie. Yep. Where the skies go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's about it. We just wanted to talk about our first storm chase and all the fun we had, and thanks to all of you out there that joined us for that. And
I just want to say that I'm really grateful to be married to that guy, because he'll do things on the fly, like go chase storms, and it makes life really exciting. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I guess that was our reward for staying home, because there's a big festival going on, which all the YouTubers know about, called the Shoot Dang Fest. And I kind of wanted to go to that, but anyway, we kind of needed to stay home. We've been taking care of Mom after she had some surgery on her foot, so we like to be able to check up on her every day until she's getting more independent. She's doing physical therapy, and she's getting better all the time. So we appreciate prayers for Mom too and her continued healing. But all of our YouTube buddies, I saw them today on all their channels. They're all out at Shoot Dang Fest, which I'm not sure exactly what all that is. I know they go to some ranch somewhere. I think there's music and different things.
Shoot Dang.
That's down in Oklahoma, where a lot of these YouTubers are from. Seems like Texas and Oklahoma, and is like those are the two big ones. But I think every homesteader in Oklahoma has a YouTube channel. Maybe it's like the law there or something. I don't know. But yeah, we've met some super fun people down there. Although we have been meeting people from all over the Midwest out here. Yeah, and you don't even have to be a Midwesterner. This whole group of channels supports people from everywhere. Like I said, there's Australians in our group and a lot of Canadians in this thing too, and even some West Coasters. So, yeah, we don't discriminate.
All are welcome to be tortured by us.
Yeah. Oh, and since we're talking about YouTube stuff too, I want to mention that YouTube likes to unsubscribe us from channels, and I know they do that to other people too. So what I like is when people go on and comment on our stuff, because every time I see a comment from another YouTuber, especially if I haven't heard from them in a bit, I always click and make sure I'm still subscribed to them, and I hope y'all do the same for us, because for whatever reason, YouTube unsubscribes us from channels all the time. I see probably several a day that I have to resubscribe to.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're doing this. I wish there was a customer service number you could just call and say, hey, why are you unsubscribing me from all these channels? So anyway, keep commenting on our stuff, and we will
keep subscribing.
Keep subscribing to us, and we will do our best to keep subscribing to you. Please don't think that we've intentionally unsubscribed to any of y'all if you don't see us on your subscriber list.
Well, there was that one person
and
that did offend us.
And you know who you are.
I don't, but you know who you are.
Anything else?
Nope. Just thank you for making storm watching so much fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining along. And hey, who knows, maybe we'll get to do it again. I have said since the beginning I wanted this to be a variety channel. I want there to be all types of stuff on here. So storm chasing is yet another thing we've added to our repertoire of videos.
Yeah, that's fancy.
We like doing interviews with people. We like showing fun things that are happening out in rural America. And we like to keep it rural. Keep it rural and keep it real. And we ordered some fun t-shirts today. So watch for those coming soon. You'll be able to get those on cornfedlife. Something. What's our merch?
It's complicated.
We'll put it in the link below.
It's in the video description.
Yeah. And once again, thanks to MT Homestead.
Yeah, we love these t-shirts. You've made us very happy.
Fun fact, MT stands for Mike and Terry, and it also is a play on words, empty homestead, they're empty nesters. So very clever, and they have such a pretty logo. It's so nice.
Yeah. With
the sunshine and the rolling hills and their little place. So thanks again. We ordered shirts for y'all too, for the MT Homesteaders, and we don't have them yet. We're sending things to a few different people, so we're having them shipped here. Plus, then you get them in our cool corn-fed packaging. We now have cool corn-fed packaging thanks to Sticker Mule. So thanks to Sticker Mule for all the cool products that they do. All right. Well, that's it. Thank y'all for coming along for our little podcast on the prairie. And we hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
God bless.
God bless. So we're parked out by the lake to let you know that if you liked that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you go to the description below, you can find a link to our online store where you can buy all kinds of fun corn-fed merchandise, like this one-of-a-kind t-shirt. Or if you want to go a step further and support us in our corn-fed endeavors, you can buy us an ear of corn or two by
going to patreon.com/cornfedlife, and for as little as $1 a month, you can help support some starving YouTubers.
Thanks for watching.